Family businesses definitely put a lot of pressure on family. There's no question about it. But the rewards and the benefits can and hopefully will outweigh the struggles and the sacrifice. Family can mean a lot of things. People become family that work with you. Friends become closer when you work together. I grew up in a family business. It was a unique business in that it was a home for veterans run by my mom and dad. My dad was a therapist. He was a prisoner of war in the South Pacific, came out, became a therapist. He was going to be a doctor, left medical school to enter the Navy during the war and World War II. Long story short, 5 kids in the family, gray mane, and pretty much everybody in the family had to work in the business. I don't think we ever got paid, so there was a lot of free labor, but we really got the benefit of that business and what it did for the community, what it did for the veterans. And you know, my mom, it was a labor of love, and because of that, I got to experience a family business firsthand. My mother's attitude was that, listen, this is supporting the family, this business does that, and you're part of the family, so go mow the lawn or go work the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift because somebody called out. And so I got it firsthand, and then, you know, when my parents got sick, I ended up having to run the home. So anybody that thinks they're going to get into business and not sacrifice is fooling themselves unless they get very fortunate. Apple Computer started out of the garage with 2 good friends, and next thing you know, they're one of the largest companies in the world. But at one point they almost went bankrupt, or did, and then Microsoft saved them. You think about it, that started with 2 friends, and they became like family, I'm sure, and I'm sure they had their disagreements. I'm very similar in that Alan Pugsley and I worked together for over 20 years, or close to 20 years, and that you know, you become very, very close, and you become business friends. Bruce Forsley, my cousin, we actually became closer through the family business because prior to that, we weren't as close. Living in Maine, most of our relatives were in Massachusetts, and Bruce Forsley grew up in Marblehead, but went to college at Colby in Maine, Waterville, Maine, and opened a restaurant. So naturally, when I opened the brewery in Kennebunk, I thought, okay, my cousin has a place, I'll sell him the beer. You know, it was still a sales job. I still had to convince he and my other cousin, Rick Forsley, to put the beer on, and I'd be delivering the beer up to Waterville, and then they opened up a location in Portland. And then when that location got, kind of the landlord had another option, and they had a rough winter, so that location shut down, and Bruce was gonna golf for the summer, he told me, and I said, well, why don't you come work with me? And at the time, we only had Alan, you know, a brewer, and myself. And I said, you're a great salesman, you got a great personality. How about joining and just, I'll give you $100 a draft line if you just go out and work on your own and sell. And he said, well, I really want to play golf all summer. And I said, come on, please. You know, he's president of the company, and his family's worked in the business. So family and friends matter when it comes to running a business. If people don't feel connected, they aren't going to give as much if they don't believe in the purpose. Some of my good friends that I've met through business are family businesses. My friend Roger that owns the Beantown Pub, and his brother Willie, and other brother Mike. Each of them have their own personalities and jobs, but they become like brothers to me. We got a guy, Billy Fairweather, owns the greatest bar in Boston, and he and Jimmy Clark and his wife Julie Fairweather own Dirty Water TV. They've become very close to me through business, and they've taken a friendship and worked a business that's you know, close to 20 years old. So when you see that, you realize you have people that, 1, care about other people, but 2, communicate with each other. You know, I was partners with Alan Pugsley for 20 years, and we're still friends, and that's important to me.